this time of the semester. But we are from Reptiles at Risk on the Road, and we came all the way down from Aurelia Scales Nature Park. So our facility, we have a large collection of reptiles and amphibians. We focus on native species that are in Canada and in Ontario, and we have the biggest collection of animals, native animals, in the province. And we have a lot of displays and, of course, hands-on exhibits. So we try to focus on educational programs. We have students come out, school groups, homeschool groups, and the public as well. But our big focus today is our outreach programs and some of our teaching materials, which we'd like to show for you guys to use in your classrooms in the future. About our project, Reptiles at Risk on the Road, we began in 2006, heading up to the East Coast, and have since gone to the West Coast, and most recently this summer, we've traveled all the way around Ontario, from Thunder Bay to Ottawa, Pembroke, Petawawa, south to Sarnia, and all through Lake Erie. The big van full of our reptiles doing outreach conservation programs for families and students, and in the fall to schools as well. So we do these programs, we're trying to reach people that live in areas where these animals can be found. So we want to talk to people that are more likely to see some of these at-risk snakes and turtles in their backyard, because those are the people that we need to count on to help keep these animals around in the future. This is one of our typical programs at Killbear Provincial Park on Georgian Bay this past July. This is our boss, Jeff, brains of the operation.
Okay.
Sarah.
Okay. I'm going to do it in French and English. So, okay. So pour le financement de notre programme, on a quelques personnes qu'on veut faire merci. Je m'excuse mon français n'est pas meilleur. Mais on a des associations avec Laurentian University, Canadian Amphibians and Reptiles Conservation and Science Asian Snake. Aussi, on reçoit d'argent du ministère des Ressources naturelles, Government Canada, et tu peux lire toutes les listes là. Mais si on n'avait pas cette association avec ces organisations ici, on ne pourrait pas alors, on pourrait pas aller dans toutes les places dans l'Ontario et différentes parties du Canada pour faire ces programmes. Comme Amanda a dit, on fait des programmes aux jeunes enfants et les familles qui se trouvent dans les écoles et au parc. Mais aussi, on peut faire des programmes comme ici aujourd'hui, qu'on peut éduquer vous sur les reptiles en risque. Et c'est bon que nous sommes ici parce que si on veut étudier, si on veut éduquer vous aujourd'hui, tu peux dans le futur donner ces programmes à tes étudiants. Et puis après cela, si tu continues d'éduquer les personnes et nous faire le même, on peut éduquer plus de la public et il y a plus de personnes qui peuvent encore aider les reptiles qui ont besoin de notre aide maintenant. And so short version in English, sorry. These are our funding people, obviously. We get our money and we have associations and partnerships with Laurentian University, Science Snakes, Canadian Amphibian Reptile Conservation Network. And basically what's really great about us being here today is that by teaching you about these programs, you can later on teach your students and hopefully spread the news, spread the education, and with more people involved and more students who are well knowledge now, we can all together try to help and save these reptiles that are at risk and need our help. Okay. Pourquoi les reptiles d'Ontario? Well, premièrement, ils sont ici. Ces animaux sont ici dans la province. Tu peux les trouver dans ton area cool ou dans le parc ou dans les parcs nationaux. Et c'est très intéressant parce que pas beaucoup de personnes savent que ces animaux sont à risque. Tout le monde sait que les éléphants et les pandas, les Komodo dragons, ils ont besoin d'aide. Alors, il y a beaucoup d'argent qui va pour les protéger. Mais en même temps, on a des animaux ici qui ont besoin de l'aide très, comme vraiment maintenant. Alors, c'est intéressant parce que ces animaux sont trouvés tout autour de nous. Et aussi, les petits enfants adorent les animaux. et spécialement les reptiles parce que les tortues sont very cute, je m'excuse. Et aussi les serpents. Alors, par éduquer les enfants ou les personnes de les reptiles qui se trouvent ici, on peut les aider plus. So, why Ontario reptiles? It's really important because these animals are found right here and they need our help now. And you know, everybody knows about pandas and elephants and Komodo dragons and all those really cool endangered species you see on the TV, and there's lots of funding going to help save these animals. But we have our own species here in Ontario that need our help and need our funding. And these animals can be found in our backyard, at the park, you know, going on a walk down the street. You can find these animals anywhere here. But a lot of people don't know about them, and they don't know that they're endangered, and they need our help. And so it's really good to learn about them so we can know what there is out there that needs our help. And as well, kids love animals in general. These animals can be found, as I said, right outside your back door. So, yeah. And, oh oui. Alors, c'est quoi un programme de reptiles à risque? En risque. Qu'est-ce qu'on fait ordinairement? Et on a un groupe d'enfants. Et puis on va porter notre reptile comme les serpents, les tortues. Et on va donner un programme. Et on va les étudier de c'est quoi cette serpent, tortue, où est-ce que tu peux le trouver, comment il fonctionne dans l'environnement, et pourquoi ils ont besoin de l'aide. Alors, aujourd'hui, on va faire un petit programme similaire que ça, et on va vous montrer quelques animaux qu'on a portés, et j'espère que tu aimes. Oui. So, what is a Reptiles at Risk program like? Well, usually we have a whole bunch of kids, or we're at a park, we have a whole big crowd of people, and we'll bring out some animals and we'll talk about that species. So we'll talk about where you can find this animal, what is it usually living like, how do they interact with their environment, and why they need our help. And then, so kids learn a lot, parents learn a lot, we all have fun, and then at the end as well, we have a hands-on presentation, or a hands-on one-on-one with the kids. So we're going to do a little show for you today that's very similar to what we usually do, and hope you enjoy it. All right.
So our first guest today, we have Couleuvre tachetée, our eastern milk snake. So these snakes are very secretive, shy snake. You won't see it out in the garden, much like you will your gardener snakes. But today, this is Dave coming out to see us. Not so shy today. So these snakes are known for their blotchy patterns, and they're actually a very long, skinny snake. They can get to be about 1 meter in length, very long one. And they are, like I said, they're very shy. You'll find them under rocks, in the woods, or maybe out in a barn. Can anyone guess why a milk snake would love to be in a barn? Any ideas? Yes. For the mice, absolutely. Very good. For the mice, they do love to eat mice. So these snakes, of course, you might know snakes will swallow their food whole in one big bite. They can't chew up their food like we do. And by doing this, snakes actually do something very special with their jaws. They have 2 jaw bones down here at the bottom with stretchy ligaments in between. So when they open their mouth around that little mouse, they open their mouth really wide like this and really wide like this, bringing 2 jaw bones forward, and they pull it up and around that big mouse, swallow it till it's in its belly. It might digest for 1 or 2 weeks before they might have to eat again. Pretty great thing. So these snakes, like I said, they're very shy. They're in the barn. Kind of weird name, milk snake, right? But they got that name because a long time ago people didn't know much about these snakes, and farmers thought they were in the barn drinking the milk from their cows. Pretty crazy. Of course, we know no snakes drink milk, never mind from a cow. So, if you do come across a milk snake, you might get a little bit scared because the snake might want to try to fool you to make you think it's a different kind of snake by doing something with its tail. Can anyone guess? What is it trying to do with its tail? Right, trying to shake it. And it doesn't have a rattle, but if a milk snake shakes its tail in the leaves or on the ground, it sounds a lot like a rattlesnake. And they look a lot like rattlesnakes too because they have these brown spots on their backs. But do you guys think we have any rattlesnakes in Ontario? Why would a milk snake do that? Who says, no way, impossible? Yes. Yes, we do have one rattlesnake in Ontario. Does anyone know the name? Massasauga? Yes, the Massasauga rattlesnake. Very good. Massasauga rattlesnake. Not here in Ottawa, but if you go over to Georgian Bay, few spots left in Niagara and around Windsor. Not many, mostly around Georgian Bay. So if you do hear rattling here in Ottawa, don't worry. It's a harmless milk snake. If you are in Georgian Bay, don't move and try to watch where you're walking. Wear some good shoes in the woods because it could be a Massasauga rattlesnake. Not to worry though, people haven't died from a Massasauga rattlesnake in a long, long time. Probably over 50 years since someone died from a rattlesnake bite in Ontario. They really don't want to bother us. Other than that, probably a little milk snake. And here you can see where they're found pretty well everywhere. Special concern, they're losing some of their habitat, but they're not doing too badly. All right, we do have another one that's a little bit closer to Ottawa.
Alors, notre prochaine ami ou serpent est les couleuvres obscures. Et ces serpents est très très spécial parce qu'ils sont les serpents les plus longs de tout le Canada. Et ils se trouvent juste dans l'Ontario. Alors, ces serpents peuvent être plus que 2 mètres en longueur. Et ils se trouvent juste au Murphy's Point. Et, où est mes mots? Murphy's Point, Charleston Lake, merci, et les îles de Saint-Laurent, et puis aussi près de lac Erie. Ces espèces sont en danger, ils ont besoin de beaucoup de l'aide, et c'est parce que ces serpents ont besoin de les forêts pour vivre. Ils vivent dans les arbres, ils se grimpent les arbres, ils mangent dans les arbres, et sans les arbres, ils ne vont pas avoir un habitat. Mais nous sommes les humains, on construit beaucoup de maisons et magasins et on détruit leur habitat, unfortunately. Alors, quelque chose qui est très intéressant avec ces animaux, en anglais, leurs noms sont black rat snake. Alors, est-ce que tu peux penser pourquoi ils sont nommés ça? Oui, ils mangent des rats et ils sont noirs. Alors, ça fait beaucoup de sens. Et c'est quoi intéressant maintenant qu'ils sont tous wrapped up? Et que ces serpents, si tu regardes au ventre, ils sont très plats là. Et puis ils ont 2 stries, ridges, sur les côtés de son ventre. Et ils utilisent ces stries pour grimper dans les écorces, the bark, des arbres. Et alors ils peuvent grimper tout en haut. Et ils peuvent cacher les autres animaux qui veulent le manger. Ils peuvent manger des oiseaux. Et il aussi va tout en haut parce que c'est une parfaite location pour se réchauffer dans le soleil. Alors, il adore les arbres. Aussi, une autre chose qui est très intéressante avec tous les serpents est qu'ils se sentent avec leur langue. Alors, ils utilisent la langue et le mettre dans l'air et au tip du langue, il a 2 points. Et qu'est-ce qui arrive? Il met leur langue dans l'air et tout le sentir, l'odeur, vont sur les 2 points et quand il le reprend dans sa bouche, il peut sentir dans quelle direction leur prey est ou leur souris ou qu'est-ce qu'il veut manger. Alors il peut sentir comme ça. Alors ça c'est très intéressant, c'est vrai avec tous les serpents. Et aussi leur sense pour l'odeur, leur smell, est le plus important pour ces animaux parce qu'ils ne peuvent pas voir très beau. Ils peuvent juste voir les mouvements et ils ne peuvent pas écouter très bon parce qu'ils n'ont pas des oreilles qui sont outside of their head. Je m'excuse. Alors, il a besoin de leur sentir pour survivre.